GM everyone. Happy Sunday. Today I'm working on my Nouns Builder Prop House win, which we're in the middle of producing with Mike. Good. So I'm going to put on some lo-fi and build. Did have a great live stream with CDT on Friday. Really had a phenomenal time listening to him. He's got a lot of wisdom, and he was early nouns. Yeah, so here's the prop. It's always a great practice, by the way, to thank your voters. So I'm going to send out a thank you tweet. So what I'm doing here is I'm going back to the prop to make sure that we are meeting our deliverables. So I need to do Builder DAO branding. Hey all, GM Lil Panda here. I'm here with Mike Good on lilpanda.wtf. For this Builder DAO series, we are diving in with various creators building on top of Nouns Builder to explore the tool, the DAOs they've created, their ideas, and their thoughts on building on top of the Nouns Builder platform. For this episode, we're here with Chris Corella. Hey Chris, great to have you.
GM guys. Purple is a DAO built using Nouns Builder. I believe it was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah, so we were the first. We launched as soon as it went to mainnet, and so we have been playing around on testnet. We tested heavily actually and provided feedback as they were working on it. And then as soon as they were live, we were able to deploy. We had all of our apps that actually had everything agreed upon. So yeah, we were first. I actually just started with a cast, and so a cast is maybe the forecasted version of tweet. And I just
Hey all, GM Lil Panda here. I'm here with Mike Good on Panda.wtf. For this Builder DAO series, we are diving in with various creators building on top of Nouns Builder to explore the tool, the DAOs they've created, their ideas, and their thoughts on building on top. Hey all, GM Lil Panda here. I'm here with Mike Good on lilpanda.wtf. For this Builder DAO series, we are diving in with various creators building on top of Nouns Builder to explore the tool, the DAOs they've created, their ideas, and their thoughts on building on top of the Nouns Builder platform. For this episode, we're Nouns Panda here. I'm here with Mike Good on lilpanda.wtf. For this Builder DAO series, we are diving in with various creators building on top of Nouns Builder to explore the tool, the DAOs they've created, their ideas, and their thoughts on building on top of the Nouns Builder platform. For this episode, we're here with Chris Corella. Hey Chris, great to have you.
GM guys.
Purple is a DAO built using Nouns Builder. I believe.
The point, by the way, is the Nouns Build brand is very confused. The verbal and the spoken brand is what I mean.
It was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah, so we were the first.
For this episode, we're here with Chris Corella. Hey Chris, great to have you.
GM guys.
Purple is a DAO built using Nouns Builder. I believe it was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah, so we were the first. We launched as soon as it went to
Is a DAO built using Nouns Builder. I believe it was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah, so we were the first. We launched as soon as it went to mainnet, and so we have been playing around on testnet. We tested heavily actually and provided feedback as they were working on it. And then as soon as they were live, we were able to deploy. We had all of our apps that actually had everything agreed upon. So yeah, we were first. I actually just started with a cast, and so a cast is maybe the forecasted version of a tweet. And I just kind of casted like, hey, we should start DAO to fund all this amazing builder activity that's happening. So that really There have been a few of us in the Telegram channel. thinking about, okay, cool, can we launch a DAO to support the Farcaster ecosystem? And so while all this is happening, we have the mainnet, and so we have been playing around.
Is a DAO built using. I'm here with Mike Good. This episode, we're here with Chris Corella. Hey, Chris, great to have you.
GM guys.
Purple is a DAO built using Nouns Builder. I believe it was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah. So we were the first. We launched as soon as it went to mainnet, and so we have been playing around on testnet. We tested heavily actually and provided feedback to Zora as they were working on it, and then as soon as they were live, we were able to deploy. We had all of our access. We had everything agreed upon. So yeah, we were first. I actually just started with a cast, and so a cast is maybe the forecasted version of Tweet. And I just kind of casted like, hey, we should start a DAO to fund all this amazing builder.
Using Nouns Builder. I believe it was one of the first, if not the first. When did you start Purple DAO?
Yeah, so we were the first. We launched. As soon as it went to maybe the forecasted version, I was thinking about, okay, cool, can we launch a DAO? This is perfect. And you guys should consider it. And here's the link. It's all on testnet right now. And that is just sort of the motivation of it all. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. The mission of Purple is to proliferate and expand the forecasted protocol and the ecosystem. And that was decided, very upfront, like this is what we're doing. So one, I think it's an incredible tool. I think it really kind of democratizes the ability to create Nounish DAOs, which, frankly, was quite difficult before Nouns Build. So it's really great. And you see that, I think, in the many DAOs that are being created on it. There isn't really like a Squarespace version as is the ability to create Nounish DAO. So one, I think it's an incredible tool. I think it really kind of democratizes the ability to create Nounish DAOs, which, frankly, was quite difficult before Nouns Build. So it's really great. And you see that. Very upfront, like this is what we're doing. So one, I think it's an incredible tool. I think it really kind of democratizes the ability to create Nounish DAOs. Frankly, it was quite difficult before Nouns Build. So it's really great. And you see that, I think, in the many DAOs that are being created on it. There isn't really like a Squarespace version of creating your Nounish DAO homepage. It would be great to see like Agora for these things. The things that already exist in the Noun ecosystem. Many of them already do support some Builder DAO stuff, but then all of those tools are super relevant. I think I personally find voting difficult currently, not the voting, but the tracking of voting is difficult. So who voted is not a thing that's on the Builder DAO website really easily yet. So I think there's a lot of rumor and delegation because one of the things I'd like to talk about is who joins these Builder DAOs or who joined Purple. And then I'll give you my actual biggest one and the biggest pain point. Just notifying people that stuff is happening is an unsolved problem, I think, almost throughout the whole Nounish ecosystem.
Acknowledge, as you have in the past, that there are some tokens that are not securities. And I know your view that Placid as a security is a facts and circumstances analysis. I know your view that the SEC has very broad authority. But you've also made it clear in the past that Bitcoin is not a security. Now, some SEC staff have also previously said that Ethereum is not a security. The SEC's DAO report characterizes Ethereum as decentralized. So here's my question briefly, and without getting deep into the weeds on this, and I acknowledge your belief that most tokens have a large degree of central control, but generally speaking, is it fair to say that a significant factor for you in whether or not a digital asset is a security is whether it is centrally controlled or decentralized?
Well, I look to the Supreme Court that's often written about this, probably close to a dozen times in 50 years. And it's whether the investing public is anticipating profits, and that includes anticipating profits from appreciation as well as from, as you mentioned, rights, based upon a common enterprise, but
Right.
the efforts of that common enterprise.
Right. So I guess another way to put my question, which you haven't answered, is it possible to have a common enterprise if it's something is decentralized? How could I have a common enterprise? I mean, it doesn't isn't centralization necessary to constitute a common enterprise?
You could have some things that are quite open, but still have, if the public is anticipating a profit based upon that common enterprise. So I'm being careful with my words here to be accurate as best I can. The common enterprise, are you relying on a group of individuals? And look, these are not laundromat tokens. There is a group of people that are actually—
You're not answering my question though, but so let me try it this way. What is it about Bitcoin that causes you to conclude it is not a security?
Well, one is there's no group of individuals in the middle.
Right, it's
there's
decentralized.
no group of individuals in the middle.
Right.
That are basically, and you're not, in essence,
So
the investing public's not betting on somebody in the middle or six people in
So
the middle.
you're choosing not to use the term decentralized, but that's what you're describing. It is the decentralized nature of Bitcoin, I think, is really what you're getting at. Here's my point, and I'm going to run out of time here. But there are a lot of projects, as you know, that, I mean, decentralization and centralization occurs on a continuum, really, I think. And you've acknowledged that there are tokens, plural, that are not securities. I think it's because of this centralization that you come to this conclusion. And my point is, it is not reasonable to fail to provide clarity, to provide the definition of exactly where on this continuum you have a sufficient common enterprise that it qualifies as a security and where you don't. You've said Bitcoin doesn't. Some of your colleagues have said Ethereum doesn't. But a reasonable developer who wants to comply with this doesn't know where that line is drawn.
So I think where we might have a difference is there are many factors. And so it's not one spectrum of centralization versus decentralization. What the Supreme Court, and I try to stick to, they're the Supreme Court. And, you know, there'll be debates about other laws. I try to stick to what they say, a common enterprise. I think about a group of individuals in the middle. That developer is in the middle and the investing public's betting on them, counting on them, even if the token might be on 1,000 computers. That's not what the Supreme Court's looking at. It's not about the token being on 1,000 computers. It's just like a group of developers in the middle.
But if there is nobody controlling it in the middle, that's what we call decentralized, and that does happen. As you know, of course, the Howey test requires all four of the tests to be met in order for something to be defined as a security. Let me.
And so I think like a really cool tool for the whole Builder DAO ecosystem and even the whole Navish ecosystem is like some better notification systems, whether that's like using something on chain like XMTP or just plain old email. So people get an email when a prop goes on chain. I think that would like solve a really key problem around governance. And
GM Lil Panda here with Mike Good. For this Builder DAO series, we are joining our favorite Nouns.build creators to explore the tools they use to create the Nounish DAOs they are building. We want to thank Builder DAO voters. Hey, we want to thank Builder DAO voters like Zora. We want to thank Builder DAO voters like Zora, who paid us 0.5 ETH to create this content. Thank you, Zora. This content is not financial advice. We own tokens in these projects, and we are interviewing our friends. You should always be skeptical before participating in these kinds of projects. This content is not financial advice, but we own tokens in these projects, and we are interviewing our friends. This content is not financial advice. We own tokens in these projects, and we're interviewing our friends. You should always be skeptical before participating in these kinds of projects. Don't trust anything you hear on a podcast. Participating in these kinds of projects can have significant legal and tax consequences. You should consult with a lawyer or accountant before buying any tokens. And again, I really don't think you should buy any of these tokens. That said, I really enjoyed speaking with Chris and Zug and Woody because it feels like we are exploring the frontier of human cooperation, and I think you'll enjoy too. So let's get started. For this episode, we are here with Chris Carella from Purple. Chris, it's great to have you here, GM. Purple was the first DAO built. Purple was the first DAO built with Nouns.build that I saw. When did you start Purple DAO? Chris, you've participated in Nounish DAOs before Nouns.build and Purple DAO, obviously, that is built with Nouns.build. What has your experience been like with the Nouns.build tool? And what types of features would you like to see built for Nouns.build? What were some pain points you found when starting a Noun style DAO? Thanks so much, Chris. This has really been great. You can find Purple DAO members on Farcaster, where they are actively building on top of the Farcaster protocol. Again, I'm Lil Panda, and if you'd like to watch the whole stream with Chris, it'll be at Again, I'm Lil Panda, and if you'd like to watch the whole stream with Chris, it's at lilpanda.wtf. For this episode, we are here with Zug. Zug, it is great to have you here, GM. A special note here, Zug is a good friend of mine, and I am, at the time of the recording, the largest holder of MFR Builder DAO tokens. You really should not buy any of these tokens. Please be skeptical of my enthusiasm. Don't trust me. Don't buy these tokens. For this episode, we're here with Zug. Zug, it's great to have you here, GM. So tell us why you decided to start MFR Builder DAO. And tell us about your first proposal. This is Prop 1, a proposal to burn the vetoer. And tell us about Prop 1. This one it just says decentralize. What types of ideas have you had recently? Is there anything else what do you think? What do you want to see built on top of Nouns.build? What do you want to see built on top of Nouns.build? What do you want to see built on top of Nouns.build? All right, thanks again for joining me, Zug. You can find Zug and MFR Builder DAO on Twitter. You can find MF for Builder, DAO, and Zug on Twitter and in the show notes. Again, I'm Lil Panda, and if you'd like to watch this whole stream with Zug, it's at lilpanda.wtf. Awesome. Got it recorded. Just sent it off to Mike. These will be out hopefully soon. Thanks for launching and listening. I'll see you next time.